You can see it over here. So once you click to open, you can always come over here to click on file. You click on new project and you can just specify what kind of properties you want to target. For example, this is the setting part. You can check frame rate per second. You can check it over here. Right now you can set it up to 60 frame rate per second. You can do, but the most optimized one is 29.97. You can just click on 29.97, or you can leave everything at default to any, and then you can set it to 1080p, which is the HD version, 25 frame rate per second. And you can check out the video tracks. You have 2 tracks. You can increase the number of tracks if you want. You can check out the audio channels. You can increase or decrease the number. You can have 4 channels up to 6 channels. I recommend you leave everything at default from here. This is a preview profile. You can check if you want to change it to any profile, and you can leave it at automatic, and then you can make sure everything is set to default. This is the default folder where it's going to save. The current project folder is on Epic Mentorship videos. You can click on this to specify another location if you so wish. Maybe you want to put in a custom folder. You can just click on custom folder and you can specify that folder from here, or by clicking on this, and it will just show you where the folder is. So for example, let's say I'm going to save mine here, Kdenlive. You just save it over here and you give it a name. You select this Kdenlive, select this folder. This is where you're going to save it. So once you're done, you just click on OK and you have it saved in that particular location. You can just start your editing easily. Right, so once you kickstart the project, you create a new project, you're free to bring in different kind of media clips, maybe an audio, a video, or an image into the editor. So you can come all the way down here. You can see this small arrow over here, drop down. You can see you can bring in, add a clip or a folder, add color clip, or you can add an image sequence, or you can add text title or text template or anything online. You can check out online resources and you can check out other features as well. But then you can add folders also directly from here, or you can delete a given folder or a given clip or a given document or a given media. So you can add a clip. For this, we just click on add a clip. You navigate to where you have that kind of clip that you want to add. For example, over here I have this intro video, and I'll just click and say okay and bring it in. You can see it over here. So down here you have 2 screens. The first one is the preview screen, or what we call the clip monitor, and then you can have the main project monitor where you can see the preview. So you can just try to bring in this one down so that you can have a clean visibility of what we are talking about. So this is the preview screen. So once you bring in any media, you just hit on enter with spacebar to start playing. So this is the preview. So what it means is, once you want to bring in a given clip into the timeline, you just navigate to the point where you want to, maybe this is the starting point. You just hit an I to create an in point, and then you, and maybe let's say at this point you can create an out point by clicking the letter O. The other one is by clicking the letter I to create an in point and then the out point. And then this clip is now available for you to drag it and drop it into the timeline. You can see it, you can drag it and drop it, and you can move it across until the end. So you can see the preview timeline or the main project monitor, where you see whatever is in the timeline, you can see it playing over here. So you can come in between and try to make this one quite a bit smaller so that you can have a bigger access to the main monitor, because that's the most important. So now you pay attention to the things you can do. You have the playhead over here. You can navigate around, and at any given point you're free to play around with these tools. You have the first tool, which is the timeline, the select tool. Over here you have the razor blade tool, which you can use, which is one of the most important. At any given point you can just use it to cut the clip at any given point that you want. And then over here you have the different controls based on the clips that you have. You have the audio. You can play around with the clips. You can lock it. You can enable or disable it accordingly using these features. And then down here you have the different options. For example, you have the audio tab, where you can play around with the audio volume and other audio properties. You can have the effect tab and composition types. You can have the time and remapping tab, and when you have subtitles, this is where you have it, and you can click to add subtitles where necessary. So but then this is the most important part. Over here you have the show video thumbnails. As you hover over the given video, you can, let's say we click to fit to zoom project, so you can fit it to zoom, and you can show the thumbnail if you want, or disable. You can see it, you can enable or disable the thumbnail. You can show the preview of the video through the timeline as you move across. Alright, so this is just the most basic part of it, and you can bring in different kind of features. You can get to the editing mode over here, and you can play around with it, and you can do quite a lot as regards the editing of this clip. You can check out the audio footage, and you can do so much in terms of the editing over here. And you can have different kind of effects. Once you click on the effect, it's going to bring in the effect control, and you can see them over here. There's quite a lot that you can do in terms of the alpha, mask, key and clean, blur effect, channels effect. You can generate, you can play around with the color and image corrections. You can have transform and utility, other volume and dynamic corrections. You can play around with the motion effects and many more. So you just feel free to click around. You can have fade in, fade out in terms of connecting between two clips and the likes. You can do quite a lot from here. And you have the color effect and color correction format. You can play around with the coloration from here. So just feel free to kind of try it, to download and install. It's freely available, open source software. You can just easily play around with the different kind of colorations, the different kind of other features as well. Once you're done, you can click to close it. You can click to close this as well, and you can move to, you can change the view. You can see from here, you can enable or disable what component and what feature you want enable accordingly. All right, so once you're done editing your project, playing around with it, you can do cut and paste. You can play around with everything, and once you're done, for example, you can move this, you can separate this with the hand tool, you can separate also this with the hand tool, or you can bring them back, or you can move a given clip from one place to another, just like that. Okay, so once you're done with the editing, mostly you can always come back to the editing mode. And once you are satisfied and edited everything accordingly, you can always export your video by just coming to project over here, and you can just come to render directly over here, or you can use the controls, control plus return or control plus enter to kickstart the rendering process. So you just click on control plus enter, or you can just click on render, and you have it over here. You specify the location, output file is the same as the one you've specified. If you're not satisfied with it, you can click on this to specify a new location from the output file. For example, I may want it to be somewhere here. You just give it a name. We can say it's intro, and you say save, and you specify the kind of files. Usually I go with H.264, which is the MP4 format. You can just click on it. You can play around with the quality from here, increase or decrease accordingly. Once you're done with it, you can say render to that file or generate script if you want. So you just click on render to the file, and it will start rendering immediately. You can see it is rendering, and it has just finished. You can clean up, you can share this if you want, you can send this via an email, or you can remove the job. Okay, so you can close this, and you can navigate to that location where you save the file, and you can see it there. So here it is, the ones we just imported. You can see it over here. You just click and start viewing it. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a bit about how to download and install and even use Kdenlive, basically just a highlight of it. Feel free to download and install it, and then try it to edit your content, either a video or or an image or an audio. You can play around with it. With installation, you can have a better experience. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to always hit the subscribe and notification buttons to stay connected to this channel for more of our very useful videos. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.